Hello, hello. Welcome to the Kubernetes SIG Release meeting. Today is Thursday, December 11th, 2025. This meeting is being recorded and it will be published on YouTube. This meeting is also being covered under the Kubernetes Code of Conduct, which boils down to be excellent to each other. We have a couple of agenda items today, so let's get started. Do we have anyone who can take notes?
I'll do it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And here is the agenda link. If you have any topics, please leave them here. And also, please leave your name in the attendees list. Let's get started with the agenda. Do we have any new members who would like to say hi? I don't think that's the case. I think we can skip this. Okay, so we can go to sub-project updates. And the first is release engineering and patch releases. I have a couple of updates. The first one is that Kubernetes v134 free and v133 7 are out. Uh, the 132.11 unfortunately is not out. We have been having problems with the testing infrastructure. The operating system image that were used by tests got removed, and we have fixed that now. The tests are now started passing, but we want to give some
I
time
have a
for.
comment on that. So when Google yanked the images the first time around, I was the one who proposed the fix and had it backported to 133 and 134. At the time, at the time, people said, "Hey, the Cosmos 121 is too new for 132. Don't put it there, right?" And then it's been broken for like at least a month and a bit now. Um, and
Yes,
eventually ended up doing it anyway. So I was wondering why we couldn't approve it the first time around.
I don't know. I would like to have an answer for that as well because I have seen that you fixed it for 134 and 33. I am not even sure where was discussion for 132. To be fair, I think that was the easiest way, like to just cherry pick that, see if tests are going to pass. And so far, I think most of them are passing. Like, let's
Yeah,
wait
131 was
until.
also broken during that time, but we've dropped it now, so it's less of an issue. But there was an objection to backporting it to 132 and 131, hence why they were broken um, for like a good month and a bit.
Yeah, exactly. I am not sure. I would say we just give it a try and see how is it going to work. If tests are passing, then yeah, no complaints. I don't see why we shouldn't keep it if tests are green. Okay, so fingers crossed. We are still waiting for some test results, but fingers crossed everything is going to be green. The next item is the next patch releases. So the next patch releases are officially scheduled for January 13, and with the cherry pick deadline being January 9th. To be fair, I think this is like too close because we have the Christmas period coming up for some contributors, and a lot of folks are taking end of year holidays and vacations. I think it will be quite silent, to put it that way, the upcoming weeks. So the idea is that we will initially move the January releases for 1 week. So we will have the, let me see the calendar, the cherry pick deadline for January 16 and the releases for January 22nd. If by then we don't get like the significant cherry picks or something that is urgent, we might consider canceling this January patch releases series so that, you know, it is an overload and folks are like still on holidays and catching up and everything, like to reduce the workload a little bit if there's nothing too significant. This will be communicated. I will send a note to the mailing list explaining this. The decision of on if we are going to have the releases will be probably sometime in January. So keep an eye on that, and we will keep you all updated. Are there any questions? Okay, I will take that as a no. And yeah, for release managers, I will be happy to take on these releases. If anyone would like to help as well, please let me know so that we can coordinate. And going next, we have the OBS packages. There are no updates at the moment. Tatiana, I have seen your PR. But I'm actually very busy now that it is end of the year period, so sorry for the delay. I will try to take a look tomorrow with it. Tomorrow or Monday. If I don't get back to you by Monday, please ping me again, but I will do my best to get back to you as soon as possible.
Thank you, and no problem at all. It is not urgent. Take your time. It can actually wait till after Christmas.
Okay, sounds good, but yeah, I will try to get back to you soon. Thank you
Mm,
so much for taking care of it, by the way.
thank you.
And for supply chain security, there are also no updates. For artifact validation, Lori is doing some things about this to see if we can try to come up with some ideas with that. There is some thread on SIG Release channel, so if anyone wants to take a look, yeah, you're welcome to help with that. We should try to coordinate this together with the image promoter stuff. I know that this is now, we are going to discuss image promoter stuff as well, but let's make sure because it is all kind of relevant and related to each other, and that planned refactor of the promo tools and all that. So let's make sure that we try to coordinate all of that. And I will also get to Lori with that, especially with the result of what we discussed later on, to make sure that we don't do work twice or something like that. Okay. Any questions for the release engineering team? I will take that as a no. And the next is release team.
Hello. The 135 release is next week. There is no drama. We do expect it to release on target, assuming nothing comes out of nowhere. And Succession has been selected for 136. So both the release lead and the sub team leads are confirmed. So that's pretty exciting. As always with the last release of the year, the timeline is really, really tight for starting the first release of next year. So the shadow application will go out the week after Christmas. So sorry. I know I don't like it either. New Year's Eve is my birthday, and I don't like doing anything that week. So uh, sorry about it, but that is when the shadow app will go out. So see y'all in 136.
Thank you. Thank you for all the great job, everyone. Keeping all fingers crossed that the release will go well next week. Do we have any questions for the release team? Okay, I will take that as a no. We can go to the open discussion part of the agenda, and the first and only topic is from Mohammed. Do you want to go ahead?
Hi, everybody. So, if you were in Atlanta last month, we had an unconference session where we spoke about all infra stuff, and we spoke about a particular item that we co-share with SIG Release, which is the image promotion. And the TLDR of that conversation was, hey, image promoter is very slow. And the main reason why it's slow is it promotes to too many locations. So we have a proposal where the release where the image promoter will promote to one location, and the part that release managers and SIG release has to deal with will be substantially easier and shorter. After the images appear in this location, SIG Infra will run an image replication tool that will fan out the images and ensure that they are available at all locations that we serve images from shortly after you publish the images to the authority registry. So this is the proposal that we have. Ben wrote it last year. I think it's the best proposal that we have right now, given that there is no bandwidth to rewrite the image promoter. So I came here to get some plus ones, but I see that some important people who have context are also missing this meeting. So yeah.
I would only say so. I think this is generally fine as the very first step. The only thing is that this is important to understand that this doesn't replace the very well needed promoter tools refactor. So we will need to refactor it. This proposal should only help to mitigate the issue that we have, that signatures are not getting fixed, and to make sure it doesn't fail and it doesn't take forever.
One other thing, did we
So
upgrade our six-store toolchain to V2 or are we still on V1?
I'm not sure, honestly.
Adolfo can answer. What do you think?
I was sorry, I didn't catch that last part.
Did we upgrade our stuff to cosine V2 and things like that?
No, not yet. But so one of the I won't say plans, but more or less the thinking right now about that is actually skipping. If we do rewrite, then I would prefer not to pull in cosine again. So as opposed to the first time we wrote all of those tools, now there's six or uh, libraries which are much more mature. Don't necessarily have to embed the whole cosine CLI. So we would probably go that way. But I mean, it's just like a general discussion, not necessarily plans. But so right now it's not bumped to cosine V2, I think.
Oh, okay, cool. Regarding the initial proposal, which was, all right, let's split the responsibility. The SIG release, hey, write to this single registry, and then we will take distribution off your hands, is the main item that we wanted to discuss. So we have some ideas on how to go about it. So
Okay. So I would say I want to make sure with the Signalist folks that we have like the final approval of the proposal, because from that conversation after the unconference, my understanding is that we don't like have the final approval of that proposal, and that some folks would like to take another look at it, because it is actually more than a year since this was originally written. I don't expect any changes, but let's give time. Now it's a
okay,
bit problematic because it's end of the year. But given this has been a situation for so long, I'd say mid-January latest that we get the
okay.
final approval.
I'm
If
working
it,
on other foundational issues for now, which is expanding the regions, getting them backfilled in. That will take a while. So
yeah.
I'm working on those pieces for now. Um, so hopefully we'll be in a position where come mid-January, the whole group should be here and we'll be like, yay, let's do this. And then we flesh out the technical details.
Okay. Then I will try to push that we make sure this gets reviewed as soon as possible. That's one thing. And I will see if we can find anyone on our side to take care of that. So
Okay.
the my ask for you would be if you can, do we already have that location where we can push stuff?
The intention is to reuse the current US Central one that's public and then fan out from there. If not, we'll create a new location and send you the details and have it backfilled.
Okay. Then I will have someone, whoever picks this up, reach out to you regarding that.
All right, sounds good.
And one question would be like, because something that I didn't understand either in the CKH info meeting when this was brought up initially, we don't have tooling for this right now that will do replication, or do we?
Short answer is no. Long answer is it depends on the duration of the replication, right? If we need custom tooling if we're saying replication has to be pseudo instant or within like 20, 30 minutes, right? If we're saying, we release Kubernetes, it takes a couple of hours for the binaries and the blobs to replicate to all our locations, then we don't really need new tooling, because we already have some tools that we can use for that requirement. So again, part of our proposal includes, all right, we need to figure out, all right, we have X amount of minutes or hours to run the image promoter. That's part of the actual image promoter itself. It's a conversation that's for SIG release, right? How long should a promotion take? The joint conversation is, all right, the images are not promoted. How long do we want to wait till the geo replication is finished? Um, is 5 minutes too long, too short? Is 5 hours good or bad? Like, yeah, you need to have that conversation. Then we can like, all right, figure out what tooling to use and how to go about it.
Yeah, I think we can kind of answer that already, in my opinion. Like, right now we have a block in the release tab that we can't proceed if images are not promoted yet. So if they are not in registry as IO, we can't proceed with the release.
Why that
Uh,
registry though? Why can't it be the magic one that you have?
because the release step includes the announcement and like it publishes everything, we want to be sure, so this has been the way we have been working since forever, that the moment we announce the release it can be used. I think it will be quite significant problem if we have to wait for something to happen, potentially several hours before we can announce the release. Or it is also a problem if we announce the release and there are no artifact. Like that doesn't make any sense. So I think that there should be requirement that, let's say it can take 1 hour for this thing to happen, but it shouldn't take longer. Like
So
we
the other question is projects that are our size, right? When they release their artifacts, right? How long does it take for it to appear everywhere and stuff?
Adolfo, you have a hand up.
Uh, yeah, well, I had another question, but so not many projects actually serve. So I think that's a big difference. So a lot of projects will build their stuff and then just put them and make them available. But I'm more concerned about I'm more concerned about not necessarily about the um, the announcement itself, but rather from the time that we push the tag and we haven't even yet sent the announcement or whatever, but the tag exists and that triggers lots of automated processes by people. So even when the announcement has not been officially sent, people will notice the tag and start running processes.
Oh, okay, hold on. So we need to first of all stop that behavior. That's really not nice. People scraping our repos and looking for tag presence and then pulling things and complaining, oh, nothing's there. When we say it's released, right? Not when the tags appear, right? Um,
Okay. I mean, yes.
yes. If you're relying on artifacts, yes, 100%, right? Kubernetes is released when the announcement drops in the mailing thread, right? Or the blog post appears on our website, not before.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
not correct. Wait, sorry, Adolfo, that's not correct.
Yeah, exactly.
So we also have something called version markers, and the version markers are updated with the release step. First of all, we don't want to change the process there that we update it manually, have a dedicated step for that, and so on. That's the first thing. The other thing, a lot of people use those version markers to, rely on fix, like doing stuff they need to do, a lot of processes. We, as Kubernetes project, rely on those markers a lot. So, like updating something with artifact that doesn't exist, first, it's going to break our test infrastructure. It's going to break infrastructure for a lot of people. So that's a no. I know this is not ideal, but I don't think we are up to changing this process at this moment. It will be a lot of work for us, and we don't have capacity to deal with that. Adolfo, you can go ahead. Sorry for interrupting you.
Yeah, and I was going to say that, yeah, even though we may not find some of those practices acceptable, like just breaking people, I'm not sure it's the way to go. I mean,
I'm not saying we changed that, but I'm saying like it's all right. We have a release process. It's very long, complicated, has many steps. All right. But as a downstream consumer of Kubernetes, I wait for that mail to say, "Oh, all right, the Kubernetes is now available. Go here and download it." Right? If I were to watch the tags and markers, but didn't see an announcement yet, and you tried to pull something and it bugged out for a couple of hours, but then it showed up correctly and fully within 12 hours, right? Is that a bad thing after within the announcement, for example?
It is because
Okay.
a lot of things are automated, and it is our responsibility to not break people. Like, we can't update version marker and say, hey, but the release is not yet available, because a lot of stuff are like, the purpose of version marker is to point to latest available, fully available version.
Oh, okay, cool, cool. So, do you think we should revisit the way we release Kubernetes and reorder some steps?
I
well,
don't think we have capacity for that.
I
exactly,
know we
depending
don't.
on.
Okay. Oh, that's fine. That's fine if you don't have capacity. Then the option is tolerate a much longer release window, a release time from a release engineering manager, release manager. How much time do you want to tolerate?
I mean, sorry, Adolfo, go ahead.
No, yeah,
You see
because
what
I
I'm
also
saying,
have a
right?
lot
Like,
of.
there's no clean answers, right?
Yeah,
Somebody
exactly.
has to
So,
say.
okay, so there are a bunch of concerns here. Like, so we already have this experience um, of the signatures. Like, we worked really hard on that project for like a year and a half, and then it got broken because of things out of our control. And then we got the flag for that. So this time, I mean, we can work. So we have one technical proposal which seems to be the most viable, and then we have these other things regarding process and how we publish and the dependence on the release process. So I think there may be a path to technically solving some of the problems that may arise from the new promotion system. Uh, and I would say so. I don't know. I feel Marco a little bit more hesitant. I feel we can work some of those details from here to when we are final ready to switch to the new process. But I would just want to make sure that we have all of our concerns addressed. So what I'm
I
saying
agree
is
with you.
I don't want to just like at least not from my part. I don't want to put like a hard no on things before we explore options to deal with the technical considerations that may arise.
No, actually, I agree with you, Adolfo. I think like I very appreciate CK Sim for stepping up and trying to help with this, but I don't think it makes sense to significantly change the release process that we have right now, especially because even if we had capacity, especially because we want to generally refactor that promoter stuff. So maybe that refactor fixes a lot of things. We never know. Maybe we take some different architecture. So maybe we should try to couple that all together somehow, instead of trying to do some hacks that have implications on the release process, or that we spend a lot of time building tools for hacks and then maybe it's not even needed later on. maybe we should give some time to SIG release to explore this properly. So now we have some idea what is needed, what are options, and then we try together, spend some time on this and figure out the next steps before we
Yeah,
decide on
quick
anything.
question. How long does it take a release manager today to release Kubernetes, like end to end?
Mm, at least 4 hours, I would say.
Okay, that's not too bad. I thought it was like more like 8.
It depends a lot. The problem is that folks have a lot of things in the meanwhile. So, like, they
Okay.
have meetings, they have stuff to take on. There is not always another release manager to jump in, so it can take time. It can, usually it's ideally it is 4 to 5 hours. More realistically, it's one day. So
Oh, we take a whole day
it
to release
depends.
this thing. Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I think I kind of get what we need to do next. Like, let's define some of these basic functional requirements. Like, hey, and I think it's fair game to readjust some of the things that people expected and became a rule. Because some things, as we've identified, it's a little bit unreasonable, right? And and like figure out, okay, this new process splits the image promotion and image geo-replication. We kind of need to know, okay, how long, what's the, what is the requirement for the geo-replication one? And then we'll see, okay, can we deliver this or not? And then we'll say, okay, this particular window, okay, that's actually doable and we have plenty of room. Or this window is actually not reasonable at all. Right? It breaks a bunch of other things, right? And then we got to figure out, okay, can we rework the process and see what we can do? Um, and then take it from there.
I would also ask the opposite side of things, if that's okay, so that you let us know, CKH Infra, what you can give to us. Like, what is with the current tooling that you have in mind and everything, how long it would take to do it, so that we can, discuss about it and see, like, what are our options there. That would be very helpful, I think.
Okay, and we could do that.
Okay. Then please let us know about that. And I will also make sure that we follow up on this within SIG release. And then after all holidays, we try to set up something and discuss.
Okay, sounds good. Perfect. I think that's it for me. I'm gonna go and work on those AIs of the holidays and come back with some good answers in January. Um, but at the same time, though, these are functional requirements that we got to negotiate and agree on, and then put it into the process.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much.
You're
Are there
welcome.
any questions for Mohammed? I will take that as a no. So let me check again. Thank you so much, Kat, for such awesome notes.
You're so welcome.
But we don't have anything else on the agenda. So I would say that's it for today. Let me just one more item, just one more thing. So the next meeting is on January 25th. I would say we cancel that meeting. And then we meet again at January 8th,
December 25th, right?
December. What did I say? I am confusing
January.
You
January and
said
December.
January.
Yeah,
Yeah,
second time today.
definitely cancel the meeting that's literally on Christmas. I will be
Yeah,
asleep on the couch after having eaten 16 deviled eggs.
that's understandable. Okay, then we will meet next time in the new year. Before that, I wish you very happy holidays and all the best in the new year. And then see you January 8th.
Bye.
Happy
Bye
New Year,
Bye.
bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye.